私は良い子ですから、これは自分へのプレゼント。
お返しは主様だけでいいの。
Hello everybody, Vigo Shadow here, and today we have a revival banner. I'm talking, we have Romantic Artist Beta. Oh, sorry, my throat was doing some funky things. And then we have Alluring Chocolatier Epsilon. So we got a yellow attacker and a yellow tank. Again, as we're in this situation where we have 4 event units, so which one should I choose? Obviously you can go over every video and check it out by yourself to just compare and contrast. But I will be going over these 2 specific units. So let's go into the profile, and I'm going to check the max stats for both of them, and then we can move on to the individual units. So let's go ahead and check out Romantic Artist on the max stats there. So we got power to healing boost to overheal, and lastly the grouping there, and we'll do the same over here. We got power to healing boost to overheal, and the grouping. So you have it. There we have it. We have both of them there. I'm going to go ahead and start with Epsilon. So here we go. Alright, so here is the Alluring Chocolatier Epsilon. This is a yellow attacker, as I mentioned. And as you can see, this flashing thing might get annoying because I actually managed to pull her twice, conveniently, on the reroll. Anyway, it looks like she has a lot of debuffs going on right there. We'll wait to check out her magic gear after the abilities. So we have Sweet War, which is 1,500 standard damage on a single enemy, lowers attack by 15% for 20 seconds, and further inflicts Seal. 3-in-1 move, not bad. This is kind of like the ultimate you're going to want to find yourself to do right before like the boss does an ultimate, so you can lower their attack by a good chunk and seal them too, so it prevents it a little bit longer. So that's pretty good as far as events go. Standard on the damage. Let's see what the Awakening does though. Ooh, it changes the seal to 20 seconds instead of 10, and then it does 500 more damage. So here's the thing too. If you're lowering attack for 20 seconds, you're expecting the boss to hit with something pretty major. So if you have seal for the exact same amount of time as the attack, then, I mean, he's just going to hit you with a very hard move. So I feel like this is better when it's not awakened for some reason. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that, but either way, I mean, seal for 20 seconds is not bad either. You're preventing their hidden technique for longer, so I believe. Otherwise, it's just regular skills. Either way, still good. Not bad for bosses and stuff, but obviously, you know, yeah, standard on the damage at least. Let's go into the Charm Shot next. So it's 300 damage on a single enemy with the highest attack, so we're attacking the highest attacker. Like I said, I always like to mention this for PvP. Further lowers the attack by 10% for 7 seconds if it is blue elemental. So that's a very specific scenario in PvP. Like, obviously, if you are facing like the Master Shadow, that's probably going to be the highest attacker on their team. So I can see where that comes into play. But as far as PvP goes, you're there's a chance that the highest attacker may not be blue unless they're running a all blue team. So it's pretty bad. It's just low damage, or a lower damage at least. So not a big one right there, but it could, you know, obviously you could see bosses like doing reduced damage. You're probably gonna want, like, for attackers, you're gonna want to be boosting the team rather than debuffing attack specifically. You want to debuff their defense more or less rather than attack, unless the bosses are like as strong as they were as we've seen in Apocalypse, which has been a while since we have had that. So Next is Bitter Press, and it lowers the attack of all enemies by 20% for 7 seconds. Now this one, I'm going to say, is not too bad because essentially, you know, especially in PvP, because you're going to be, you're going to be lowering the attack of all the enemies, which is excellent for 7 seconds. You'll have a little bit of the edge in PvP with that move there. Awakened, it looks like 40% for 10 seconds, so at least there's more seconds on there, and by a good amount as well, so you're going to want to see that in the roadmap. And then another one, Alluring Chocolatier. When damage is received, raises damage received for all enemies by 15% for 20 seconds. When this is awakened, we go from 20 to 30. Not bad there. Especially, so there's two things that's noteworthy on this unit. Damage received for all enemies goes up to 15 more if you awakened it, and essentially you can lower the attack. So you're lowering the attack and you're lowering the defense, so that's not bad for arena. But here's the thing: this attacker does diddly for damage, like 300 damage, and then lowers the attack if it's a blue one. So, you know, ooh, it's just a very tough call to make. If I were to place this in, like, just quickly off the bat without, you know, going into a little deeper analysis, I probably would place this one somewhere in like the B, like average tier to A. We could debate like into the A or the S tier because of these values. It just depends on who you have on your yellow team or who you have on your team, because essentially this unit doesn't need to be under like a certain element or grouping. They just go ahead and raise the damage received and also lower the enemy's attack. So you can use that to your advantage as long as you have good units to back that up. Personally, I like an attacking unit that can do a little bit more damage and probably a little bit better affliction. This is not bad, I'd say, because it's a decent debuff on the team. But lowering the attack for like 7 seconds, I mean, once they're out of that, they'll hit probably hard, unless you can manage to do a lot or kill somebody in that 7-second time window. So that's all I have to say to that. Let's just go ahead and check out the art next. So obviously the attraction here is the cake and of course Epsilon with her image. You can see a little bit of the kitchen, kind of like a home kitchen background, with a little bit of hearts flying everywhere. I'd say this one's not bad, especially with the foreground. I feel like the background is like I'd say it's pretty good because it does fill the space pretty well. I just feel like there's something maybe missing there. I know it's supposed to be just a kitchen, but still. Either way, I still like the art. Probably like 7 out of 10, or maybe 6.5 on my personal rating. I don't put a lot of thought into that, but either way, let's go to the Awakening roadmap. So we got right away is the Alluring Chocolatier, and we got the 10-second boost for that. I would say it's not too noteworthy. Like, I don't know if you could, like, a wave could last 30 seconds for sure, but 20 seconds is still good enough. Charm Shot, it is going to lower the attack a little bit higher if it's, and for more seconds if it's blue. But yeah, that's a very specific thing. I preferably would like to see that later, not that early. A3 is noteworthy at least because you have the Magic Gear slot, and then you have lower attack of all enemies by 40%, which is better. You want to see that, but that's all the way tucked in A4, and then Sweet War, which is all the way tucked in A5, which is not bad. You can kind of keep it there. I'd say your most noteworthy ones is probably like A3, A4. A1's okay with that 10-second boost in PvP probably, and bosses, but like, yeah, this unit's gimmick is definitely I wouldn't even say it's a gimmick. It's just a it's a status inflictor. It's not much about the damage. It's about debuffing the enemy team. And if the enemy team has counters to this, let's say like lowers attack of all enemies, and somebody has like raises attack of all, like, and they buff their team, like that just can completely get turned around on you and mitigated. So it could backfire a lot, and then this unit will be taken out because they can't really do enough, like, a lot. So, like, they don't. This unit needs other people to sustain the damage, and if those units are gone, your team just kind of goes to shambles. It could be very useful, though, for maybe bosses. I'm thinking not so much on the attack factor, but more of the lowering the defense. So, yeah, I'd say like around we're floating around like B8 here if we're using my Wushin tier list. And then for like questing and other things, it could be like maybe same range. I think BA. If we're going by the specific scale I used. Either way, that is it for Epsilon. Let's go ahead and move on to Beta next. Or wait a minute. One thing I almost forgot. We gotta go. Did I check out this link here? I didn't think I did. Okay, yep. So I'm glad I did this. We have at the start of the wave lowers damage inflicted for all enemies by 30% for 10 seconds. Now this is much better. It's a much better magic gear because you're adding on to, what is it? Damage inflicted. So you're lowering the attack, and then you also are lowering the damage inflicted. So that actually can be a lot. So with the magic gear, you actually boost yourself up, like probably at least by a tier with that magic gear. But yeah, that's all there is for Epsilon. Moving on to Beta. Alright, so here we have the romantic artist Beta. And right off the bat, we can see there's a lot of shields going on here. So we have Dreamy Valentine. Shields, puts a shield on all allies for 15 seconds and recovers own HP by 100 of attack. So that's actually pretty good because, of course, you're putting on a shield, a 200% type of shield, based on the skill user's attack of all allies by 15 seconds. Recovers. The recovery is kind of standard. When we awaken it though, further raises attack for 15 seconds if yellow elemental. So each one of the allies could get the attack if they're yellow. So that's actually very important to note. So that's actually a very significant boost. You're gonna want to see this awaken, but I have a feeling they're gonna tuck it back pretty far. Let's check out this next move here. Magic Puppet raises own defense by 25% for 15 seconds. Now, with this move, like Sid can do more right off the bat with 30% instead, but it's for 10 seconds. So I think that 5 extra seconds can really make the difference in PvP. So I mean, there is that. So, and it's still raising your own defense. So I mean, pretty standard stuff. It's like less than standard, but also more than standard by like 5 seconds. So pro and con. When it's awakened, we have raises own defense, same amount. Should have increased a little bit, but you get a shield for 15 seconds, which kind of makes up for it, definitely. It's a bit of a smaller shield with 100%, but either way, moving on. Shields damage, or this candy barrier. Shields damage of ally with the lowest HP for 15 seconds. Not bad. That's actually a very good skill in terms of shield. Like, I don't think I've seen this. I may have seen this somewhere, but still, it's like healing. It's like your healer healing the lowest ally and giving them like a little bit of a boost. So it really keeps your like weakest party member still in the game, which I like. I really like that because you're protecting the most fragile part of your team, which is good. I like that. When it's awakened, we have a very decent, significant boost of 150%. So this is a 300% shield on that ally, and they're gonna need it. So that's, I like that. I like that for shield moves. And then this one, at the start of the wave, shields 100% of skill on yellow elemental allies behind self for 60 seconds, which is great. You're gonna want having a shield right away is awesome, because they're not attacking you right off the bat. When this is awakened, we have we go to 200%, which is good because any one of these, when they're awakened, is actually a very good value. Besides this one doesn't go up in shield. This one adds a shield, so you're gonna want to see that. Either way, this character is literally shield, 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 shields. So it's just crazy that way. I will go into her other stuff before I get into the should you pull aspect for both of them. So let's go ahead and check out her magic gear. If her magic gear is just shield, that's going to be funny. Let's check it out. Okay, at the start of the wave, reduces damage received for allies behind self by 18% for 15 seconds. Let's see what that looks like max. 30%. That's actually very, very significant. This magic gear is actually very good for the character. It's very good in terms of like protecting your teammates. I feel like this tank does a very good job at that. And she's able to take, I think, a little bit of a beating because she does raise her own defense. But I think what's mainly keeping it afloat is the shield. Now, if you get somebody like Iris that can, Event Iris, the Bashful Santa Iris, she can remove shield altogether, and then that's when she starts to fall apart. So, yeah. Either way, let's go to the skills, the Awakening roadmap. So right off the bat, we have the special ability. I'm surprised they gave that right off the bat. And that's actually probably really good to have at A1 because you're creating a stronger shield for everybody in the beginning of the wave. Excellent. A1's awesome. That's cool. Magic Puppet is the next one, and wow. Raises own defense. It's that one with the additional skill. That's crazy. I did not expect these two to be right off the bat. A1, A2, awesome. A3 is the magic gear, even better. We have A4 with that extra 150% on that ally, which is like it would be good. And then we have the Awaken or the Hidden Technique, which is good. So like in a PvP sense, this formed very well on the Awakening roadmap. This Awakening roadmap's really good. A1's noteworthy, A2 is noteworthy. Of course, there's magic gear. And then, I mean, A4 is kind of, like, I wouldn't grind it that hard to go to the A4, especially with how many shields she already gives. And she's going to be giving 150% base shield on that, but still worth noting. And then we have this one. What's the difference between this and the normal? Again? Oh, it adds that extra layer that further raises attack, which is decent. Decent for sure. But yeah, this person is like mainly used for a lot of like shield factors, and like like I said, shields are very, very important, and she can dish out a lot of them, which is great. So she's protecting her allies a lot, even with the magic gear. So the next question is, should I pull for the revival banner, or what should I go for with these four? So here's what I'll tell you. I did a video on all of them, and now these two. Of course, when you're pulling on the revival banner, there is a chance to get Epsilon and not Beta, and then there's also a chance to pity and not get any of them. But between these two, obviously the better pick is going to be the Romantic Artist Beta. I think the status afflictions are like, I think they're good, but I don't think they're great by any means. We have better attackers on yellow to make up for like better boost for attack and do more damage. So I think she could be replaced. And then the Romantic Artist Beta has a very good thing going with the shields and able to like protect a lot of the team. However, we have the Perfect Gift Alpha, which is able to raise speed of the team by a 15%, which is very, very good. I did cover this unit more in depth in another video, and you'll see exactly why this unit is so good. Go ahead and check it out if you'd like. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say, I mean, if you're really a fan of Epsilon or Beta, of course I'm gonna say, I'd say Epsilon's kind of mid-tier. I don't think she falls anywhere in the high tiers, and then Romantic Artist is like in between. I'd say like mid-high tier, because she can be replaced with Alpha, and if she can be replaced with Alpha, you might as well just go for Alpha if you know what I mean. So, but not a bad tank nonetheless. Either way, that's all I have for these two characters here. Yeah, this is it. Vigo, signing off.